Welcome back to part 3 of the Dragon Panel Quilt. Today I am going to be making templates. And one of the things that I really enjoy is a deconstructed quilt. Simply the borders can be deconstructed, the sashing can be deconstructed. It's something that I'm enjoying doing. I did it first on a sample quilt that I was working on or something for a challenge. Anyway, I do not have the pattern for this. I do not even know if it's a thing, but if it's not, we're making a thing. And if it is, I didn't watch your video, so sorry that I cannot give you credit. Okay, so one of the things that I want to do is to make scales for my jack and quilt. And I know that I mentioned that there will be applique-like pieces. Don't let it throw you off because there will be absolutely no fusible, no turning, what I call the Lori Holt method, and I'm certain it's called something else. But I am gonna put scales into my background, and that is going to be my sashing. But to do that, I have to make scales. And I looked at a few pictures on what I want to do. So what I did, I do have a drunkard's pattern template, and it says that it is for it's backwards. I believe it is the 9-inch. So this is my template, and I've marked, and I don't know if you can see the mark lines right there and there. I've actually marked where I want it on my corners. And I am going to just draw a couple of templates. For this one, I'm going to start at the end, and I'm using some cardstock that you use on your scan and cut or whatever to make cards. So I'm using, and I'm going to draw it. And for this, I want a little bit of overlay. And I am just drawing trying to determine where about I want that overlay. Now, turn this over, and then I want just a single okay. So I've drawn that out. You probably can't see it because of the light, and this time of day there's extra light in my room. But I've drawn out my shapes, and then I am simply going to cut it. So I'm going to sit here and cut out my shape. And this is going to be the template that I will use to transfer. You want to make it cut on that line as fast as possible. If you're a little off, it is okay. This is your quilt. This is my quilt. Good. So I have one. And I am using my paper scissors. I am not using my fabric. Again, there is no pattern to this. I am just making this as I go along based on how I want it. Now I'm going to get some freezer paper. Pull me off a few. On the freezer paper, there is a shiny side and a flat, dull side. So I want to draw or copy my template out on the flat or dull side. And to make life easier, I like to line up the edges with the edges of my paper. It just makes life a little easier. You'll have to hold it down if you have some type of weight. That's fine. I'm using a friction pen. And I want two of these. And then I want two of these. I do save the portion of the freezer paper that I'm not using for other smaller projects. I'm just tracing out and I'm making two of them. Now, by all means, you could just sew some blocks together to fill in those pieces. But I didn't want to do that. This is from my husband, and I wanted to do something a little special. And I did not bring this here. It's not on this side of my sewing room. So I'm just going to cut these out with scissors. I'm not mirroring anything. It is exactly the same template. I didn't turn it around or anything else. And that's it. Watching me cut paper is so much fun. But you get the point of this. And I did promise that this was just going to be small snippets of getting this quilt together. So off camera, I'm going to complete cutting those out. The reason why I made two is because I have two fabrics different fabrics that I will be using for my scales. And again, I have 2 yards of each. And so I am going to be cutting pieces out of my 2 coordinating fabrics. I will be cutting these pieces and I'll show you that step. What I will do is cut strips that are about 3 inches to save 3.5 inches. So I'll be cutting strips with the fabric to make these. And that will be part 4. This will should be interesting, but it will be again for the scale of my fabric. And just keep deconstructed in your mind. Don't let this scare you. Okay. It's going to be really easy. And again, we are not using any fusible or anything else. So I hope you watch um, number 4. I might get confused keeping up with myself, but part 4 as we do the portion of this, and leave a comment. Thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.